The first time I heard about Zoe, it was from one of my really good friends named Austin. He was actually getting married to her best friend, Nikki. And they wanted me to meet her, and I was completely open to the idea of that. So I was just counting down the days.
Well, I think we've all been there where we get set up with somebody, we have our doubts, and I'm thinking, right. I was on a one-track mind straight to Colombia. I was only going to be in the States for like a month and a half tops. And my idea of getting ready for Colombia was not starting a new relationship. So I was like, okay, whatever.
And the first time I met Zoe, it was me, Austin, and Nikki, and we were meeting her at a Chinese restaurant to have dinner.
It was about a week before their wedding, and we all decided to go out to eat. Well, I had never met Austin before because I had been in Costa Rica. So I leave my car because I see them walking towards the restaurant, and I get out and I hug Nikki, and then I go straight to Austin because that's really the main character in this story at this point, because he's marrying my best friend and I have to approve, of course. So I go straight to Austin. Apparently Aaron, whom I didn't see at the moment, was standing there holding out his hand.
I'm like, okay, she's pretty. So I approach her, and as I'm sticking out my hand to shake her hand, she completely ignores me, makes me feel so dumb and like a loser, and goes straight to Austin and hugs him. I'm like, okay, probably not the best first start.
The wedding took place on a cruise, and we went to the Caribbean. It was a 4-day cruise. Fantastic. Thank you, Nikki and Austin. But basically, there was only a few singles on the cruise, and I had already met Aaron at the restaurant the week before, so I kind of knew him a little bit. Pretty much thought he was the most handsome thing in the entire universe. So I was looking forward to hanging out with him on the cruise. And basically, from the moment we boarded until the moment we got off, we were inseparable.
We had such a great time and just had so much fun getting to know each other. And eventually, that first night, we ended up talking till about 5:15 in the morning on the top deck, under the stars, all by ourselves, covered up with blankets. And that's when, I had to make a move.
He says I was hinting, but I don't think I was hinting at all. He just leaned over out of the blue. I mean, total shock. And kissed me. Just, a real quick kiss. And then he pulled back and he goes, "How about that?" Okay, I'm like, okay, I like you.
And eventually the cruise came to an end, and we were both kind of like, so what is this? What does this mean? But we both knew that this was something good, something more than just a fling, so we decided to pursue it.
He was getting ready to go to Hawaii for missions, and I was getting ready to go to Colombia, so we were like, well, we really like each other. Let's just see what happens. Long distance is really hard, but let's just see what happens. So we did.
And that whole month before we left was just amazing. We did so many fun things, had so much fun, and really got to know each other truthfully and honestly.
And then he left. He came back about 5 weeks later, only to have about 4 days with me, or 5 days before I went to Colombia. So we had a few more days together, and then I left for Colombia, where I was for 3 months before he came to visit me.
The long distance, it was hard. It was really hard, but it actually brought us so much closer together, so much faster than a normal couple would.
Even though we couldn't be together in physical presence, we were together a lot on the phone and thinking a lot about each other, and did all kinds of corny things like keep diaries to each other and leave video messages in each other's emails, stuff like that.
And I really thank God for answering my prayers by blessing me with her in my life, and it's just been so amazing.
And we talked about getting married pretty early on just because we both felt like it was a total God thing and it was a total match, and it is. So when he proposed, the way he proposed was a total shocker, but it wasn't a huge surprise that at some point he was going to propose. So that's in our proposal story, which you can see on a different video. And that is the story of us.